Welcome all of you. I am Durgesh Kumar Pandey. I am going to explain a chapter of class 12C. The name of this chapter is India's Foreign Policy Class. Class, the name of that chapter is India's Foreign Policy. Class, in this chapter, we are going to discussing about the foreign policy of India. Class, after the independence of India on 15 August 1947, the country was a very country have a very big challenges. Like in the previously chapter, India was internally facing the challenges like shaping a nation, to establish a democracy, and the development of country, the economical and social well-being of peoples. These are the three internal challenges of our country. And the class in all over the world, at the same time, all over the world, like after the Second World War, there was a two great powers, US and USSR. They were in existence, and the Cold War confrontation between these two superpowers, and the work for establishing of UNO was growing on, and communist China was increasing as an economical power. So after when the India was got independent, at the class, at the same time, the world was going to face the challenges. So the both things, the internal circumstances and external circumstances, both influence the foreign policy of India. After the independence, India make their foreign policy according to requirements of internal circumstances, and what are the circumstances as the international level. Both the things affect the foreign policy of our country. Class, class, the international situation and the internal or domestic situation both create the foreign policy of India. But class, that our first Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, he was our Prime Minister and also the Foreign Minister from 1947 to 1964. And Nehru's role to make the foreign policy of India is very important. They have basically three objects. First object, to preserve the hard-earning sovereignty. This is the first object of Nehru's foreign policy, to preserve the hard-earning sovereignty and protect the territorial integrity, and promote the rapid economic development. These are the three main objectives which we want to get by their India's foreign policy. And class, in Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was adopted the non-alignment movement. He was not want to join both bloc, US and USSR. Class, most of the leader of our country want to India should be the pro-US foreign policy, because US is a democratic country, so that is why India should follow the US. And our prominent leader of those time, like Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, and the important political party Bharatiya Janata Sangh, and later Swatantra Party, was also one to the pro-US foreign policy. India should be follow the US. But Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was very flexible about their approach. He was decided he, he, he should make the equal distance from both the camp. He was decided to follow the non-alignment movement, and he was decided to equal distance from both the camp, like from US and USSR. Class after the independence, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was trying to make the unity among the Asian African countries. Class, after the independence, our Prime Minister was trying to convince the Asian and African countries which were newly independent. They got the independence from the decolonization. The class, the Nehru's policy was to convince Asian, African, and Latin American countries to make organization. And before the independence, Asian Relation Conference in March 1947 was organized by the Pandit Nehru, and similarly the Afro-Asian Conference in in Indonesia, the Bandung in 1955 was organized. Asian African Conference. This is in the Bandung. The place is Bandung in the Indonesia. The year is 1955. Here the Indian or Asian African leaders who have come here and they meet. And this conference is also known as Bandung Conference. In this conference, the major political leader of Asian Africa, like Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru from India, Joseph Broz Tito from Yugoslavia, and Nasir from Egypt, and Sukarno of Indonesia, they were come together and they want to make organization, and ultimately the name was non-alignment movement was framed in September 1961 at the Belgrade. Its first summit was organized there. So after the Bandung conference, the name was set up. So this was a big achievement of the leader of Asian African. This was this unity was at the peak when the NAM was established, and these five founder member India's Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Indonesia's Sukarno, Joseph Broz Tito from Yugoslavia, Nasir from Egypt, and Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana. These five Asian African leaders were come together and they established a NAM. So after the independence, India's policy was to keep the equal distance from the two camps, and they following the path of NAM. Plus, India was to make the equal distance from the two blocks, but it was not truly and practical. India was not fully made equal distance, because after the independence, India was criticized when the Britain was, after the Second World War, world was divided into two camps. The US just follow the ideology of liberal democracy and capitalism. They established a NATO, and the second is the socialist bloc, USSR, and they follow the ideology of socialism and communism. They established a Warsaw Pact. So India was not going with two, and India was joined the NAM. When Britain was attacked on the Egypt in the case of Suez Canal issue, so India was criticized for the attack of Britain over the Egypt. But at the same time, when the USSR was attacked on the Hungary India was not saying anything. So India was not honestly keep the distance from the both blocks. The Pakistan was joined to US bloc. So India was in that time under the pressure. So on August 1971, India was make a 20-year peace treaty with USSR to keep the circumstances balanced. So India was not honestly to keep distance from the two blocks according to their needs. India was also take the friendship with the USSR class. So class, we can say initially after the independent India's foreign policy was to keep the equal distance from the two blocks. India followed the non-alignment movement, and India's foreign policy is to make the Asian African countries unite. India wants to united Union of Asian African countries, basically for the new independent countries, and India was want to preserve the hard-earned sovereignty, protect the territorial integrity, and promote the rapid economic development. These are the part of our foreign policy. Plus, foreign policy of any country is to fulfill their national interest. That is why India adopt the policy of NAM and Asian African unity, because it fulfill the national interest of our country. Class in our Indian Constitution, article number 51. In this article, we are find that in directive principle of state policy, here you are looking the duty of the state. The state shall endeavor to, first thing is, promote international peace and security. So it is clearly written in our Indian Constitution, the directive principle of state policy. The duty of the state is to promote the international peace and security. This is our foreign policy also, and maintain just and honorable relation between the nations. It shall be the duty of India, Indian states, to maintain just and honorable relation between the nation. It is the duty of our India, and the duty of the India is to foster respect the international law and treaty and obligation in their dealing of organized people with one another. Okay, so it is the duty of our Indian government to foster the respect for international law and treaty. जो international law and treaty है उसका हमें respect करना चाहिए, and obligation उसका पालन होना चाहिए in the dealing of the organized people with one another. एक तरह के लोगों को दूसरे तरह के लोगों के साथ व्यवहार करने में जो इंटरनेशनल लॉ है उनका रेस्पेक्ट करना चाहिए, और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय जो ट्रीटीज़ हैं उनका हमें पालन करना चाहिए. प्लस द नेक्स्ट थिंग इज encourage the settlement of international dispute by the arbitration. मीन्स जो इंटरनेशनल डिस्प्यूट्स है, जो इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे जो तमाम आपके जो डिस्प्यूट्स है उनको जो है बातचीत के द्वारा सॉल्व करने के में कोशिश करनी चाहिए. क्लास की encourage the settlement of the international dispute by arbitration. मीन्स द जो सेटलमेंट्स हैं इंटरनेशनल कम्युनिटीज़ के जो डिस्प्यूट्स हैं उसको हमें ये कोशिश करना चाहिए कि बातचीत या फिर मिलजुल करके जो है उसको सॉल्व करें. दीज आर द written in our directive principle of the state policy. So class, in our Article 51 in the directive principle of state policy is saying the state shall be the endeavor to promote the international peace and security. Means it is the duty of the state to promote the international peace and security. The second thing, maintain just and honorable relation between the nation. It is the responsibility of the state to maintain just and honorable relation between the nation. The C is foster respect for international law entities, obligation in the dealing of organized people with one another. So it shall be the duty of the state to respect the international law entities and obligation in the dealing with of the organized people with one another. Means we should respect the international law and treaties dealing to the organized people from one to another. And the fourth thing, encourage the settlement of international dispute by arbitration. तो वर्ल्ड के जो डिस्प्यूट है उनको हमें कोशिश करना चाहिए, encourage करना चाहिए लोगों को कि वो बातचीत के थ्रू उसको सॉल्व कर सके. Class now come on the class. India's changing relation with the another countries. First we take India's relation with the US. You know, after the Second World War, when the Cold War was doing, the era of Cold War, India was a close partner of USSR. But when the Cold War was ended, so India became a friendless. We had no friend because USSR was already collapsed. And during the Cold War era, India was not close to US. India was close to USSR. But after the disintegration of USSR, we lost our friends, and now we are become the friendless. So after the era of 90s, India was decided to increase their closeness with US, and during this era, India was building their economy. We choose the path of LPG liberalization, privatization, and globalization. We liberate our economy, we open our economy, and we increase the relation with the US, and we want to US friendly relation. Plus, in the changing relation with the US, the two things, the technical dimension and the role of Indian American diaspora. Means the peoples who are Indians, they were going to America for their job and they were settled. So a big population was a big population is living in the US, which increased the relation between India and America. You know, in the present time, Kamala Harris is the vice president and his origin is India. So this things make the relation good between these two countries. So these two factors are important. That is why we have a need to cooperate. Okay. Other than these two things, we have some another things like a US observed about 65% of India's total export in the software field. Okay, class. So US observed about 65% of India's total export in the software sector. So it is good for us. We got the foreign currency. And the second thing, the 35% of the technical staff of Boeing is estimated to be of Indian origin. Yes, in the technical staffs of Indian in USA, and 3 lakhs Indians work in the Silicon Valley in USA. 3 lakhs Indians are the worker in the Silicon Valley. This it means the technical needs, technical staffs, and their needs will fulfilled by the India. And 15% of all high-tech startup are by the Indian American, and 15% of all high-tech startups are by the Indian. The Indian Americans were starting so many new industries, and they make the economy strong class. Like other country, India was also want to a good relation with US. The peoples who are close, looking the relation on the basis of military power, they were fearful. Ki the growing closeness between US and India is very harmful for India, and they prefer that India maintain its aloofness from the Washington. कि जैसे कि इंडिया को US से दूरी बना कर रखना चाहिए and focus upon increasing its own comprehensive national power. और India should increase their national comprehensive power in the place of India was going to close with US. And the second thing, class, some other peoples who are looking the closeness of India and US is a historical opportunity, and they advocated the strategy that would allow India to take the advantage of US hegemony. India should be take the advantage of US hegemony and the mutual convergence of US and India to establish the best option for itself. India have many options. India take the advantage with the closeness of US, and anything which are opposing the US, it is not is worthless. If we are opposing US, it is not good for us. It is useless for us. So we should be close with US, and we take the advantage of US hegemony, and we should take this historical opportunities, and we should cooperate with the US and take the advantage of their hegemony in the different economical and different sectors. If we are making a distance with US, so it is harmful for us only, class. The third strategy, the third group of the people who was saying that India should be take the lead in the establishing a coalition of the countries from the developing world. India should lead the developing country. India should make a coalition of the developing countries, and with the time this coalition will become powerful, and with the time this coalition this coalition will be leading, and after some year this coalition will maybe succeeded in winning the hegemon and their way. तो जो डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज़ को इंडिया लीड करेगा, विद द टाइम इट विल बिकम अ पावरफुल, और अमेरिका को यह क्या करेगा, इसके हेजेमोनिक जो बिहेव है उसको करने से रोकेगा, एंड तो इंडिया का जो चाइना के साथ रिलेशन है इट विल बी वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स. हमें किसी एक स्ट्रेटेजी के साथ नहीं चलना चाहिए. वी शुड बी मिक्स, हमें इन सब स्ट्रेटजी को मिक्स करके वी शुड मेक अ मिक्स पॉलिसी, हमें सब मिक्स करके चलना चाहिए एंड मेक द टू relation with the US and America will be friendly.